Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Season 14, Episode 37, overall 732 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with a great selection of all-electric vehicles, EVs, as well as Cadillac vehicles and pickup trucks as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969. I hope everyone's having a great Monday. It's been rainy here the last couple days here in Southern Ontario on this Monday, August 24th, 2026. And I'm excited to have our guest on tonight. This is her first appearance on our show. We met through social media and through a mutual friend of ours, Shelly Shamals, who's been on both of our shows. And I'm excited to have her on. This woman is from the Buffalo, New York area. She is an entrepreneur, a business owner. She's also an inspiring actress, producer, screenwriter, director, and we're going to bring her on right now, Della Gray, after this applause. Good evening, Della. How are you?
Good evening. Good evening, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm feeling a lot better. The last couple weeks, the allergies have been really bad with the ragweed and the pollen here in Southern Ontario that time of the year. So I am feeling a little bit better than I was a couple weeks ago.
Oh, good. Yeah, we're getting it here too. My allergies are flaring up. You know, it has been all summer, so I can relate to that.
Runny nose, itchy eyes. You look.
Yeah.
It makes you look. It makes you tired, and it sucks the life out of you.
Yes.
But hey, you know what? The change of season's coming, and my favorite times of the season are fall and winter.
Fall and winter, amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Fall and winter.
Amazing time. Yeah.
But hey, Della, I want to say thank you so much for coming on here, and it was also through a mutual friend of ours, Shelly Shamals, how we discovered each other, with you being on her show, you being on her show, and Shelly being on my show. And you know how I met Shelly was through the Niagara Falls Comic Con in June. I met her when I went to get my media pass, and we kind of hit it off, and we've been friends since then.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, she's hey, Shell. Yeah, she's a wonderful, wonderful lady. Very invaluable, very full of information, and you're always going to get your support. And she's definitely your cheerleader. You know what I mean? She really is. So she's a wonderful person. She really is.
Very positive person with a kind heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is. Oh. I second that for sure.
Yeah. So how are things in Western New York? By the way, Western New York is like my second home. The Buffalo, Niagara Falls, Amherst area is like my second home.
Oh, you were telling me that. So you for a while, right?
I was
visiting.
I was doing some media work for the Buffalo Bisons, the Buffalo Bandits, and I used to go over to Amherst, to the Boulevard Mall, Kohl's and all that place. Amherst kind of reminds me of my city, where I live here in Ontario. It's a nice community, and people are friendly in Western New York. And Are you originally from the Buffalo, New York area?
I am from Buffalo, but when I was about 9, we moved to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So I lived there from 9 to 15, and then I came back pretty much been back here to Buffalo ever since. Yeah. So
What
most of my life.
in your opinion, what makes the Buffalo, Western New York area such a great place to live and work?
I think that we are very, what is it, the Queen City, right? City of good neighbors. So I think that is what makes us a really good place for people that live here, but also people that come and visit. Our hospitality, I think, is tremendous. That I will say. And as far as work, I think there's a lot of outlets here. We have a really good theater community, film community, music. We're rich in music. Our food is fabulous. Our Buffalo isn't as progressive as I want it to be, but I think we're slowly starting to manifest back to that. Now that I will say, as far as the working arena.
I find it similar to being in Ontario because you guys are so close to the Canadian border. It just feels like I'm still at home when I cross the border too. And you guys also love your sports too. You love your food, you love your music, your comedians, but you also like your sports teams too. So are you a Bills and Sabres fan?
You know what? I am. I think I'm probably a fair weather Bills fan though. I have to be honest there. When I was in high school, I think I used to be more into the Bills, but I'm fair weather. I have to be honest. And don't hate me, Bills Mafia. I'm a fair weather Bills fan. But I heard that the preseason games, they've been doing okay, right? There's been 2, I believe, right?
One more to go.
So they're doing
one more goal.
Yeah, they're doing all right. So I think that this is going to be our year. This is going to be our year where we go to the Super Bowl. We're going to win that joint. We're going to manifest it. Yeah.
By the way, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so I think Philly is going to have a say. Yes. But hey, you know what? 10 years ago, if you told me the Eagles would have won 2 Super Bowls, I wouldn't believed you. So, I never know it could happen. I had to wait a long time to see the Eagles win 2 Super Bowls. So, but you know what? We'll see what happens. And that new stadium too. That new stadium is going to be interesting. I've already heard a lot of negative things about it, and they haven't even played a regular season game there yet.
Yeah, I've heard it was beautiful. I haven't heard a whole lot about the stadium as far as people I know personally that's been there, but I did hear that it's much better than the other one. So I did hear that.
I'm old school. I went to the old stadium about 28 times or 30 times. So I'm old school. The new one, I've heard it looks great on paper. I haven't been there in person myself, but people have complained about the obstructive views and I guess the price. When you build something brand new, the costs are going to go up.
That's true. I agree with you. It is for sure. For sure. Yeah. All right.
Anyways, Della, you're also a radio host too on WUFO. Are you able to tell us a little bit about that as well, and how you came about your being a co-host of a show called A Senior Moment?
Yeah, Senior Moment, and that is on Saturdays, and then there's another one called Talk of the Town on Sunday. So I heard about the show through the grapevine, and then coincidentally I ended up meeting the producer of both of those shows. Now, way before then, I kind of had an affinity for radio. I always had a love for radio. Yeah, always knew that I had that natural ability to go and do it. So when I met Carrie Saunders, hey, Kay, I wanted to be on his show as a guest, pushing my patient advocacy business. And so I came on, he interviewed me. Then I told him about my affinity to be on radio. And he said, hey, let's give it a try, And so I've been with him, I think, over a year, probably about a year and 2 months now. And it's been a really, really good experience. I feel like a dream because I am really making a lot of the things I've always wanted to do come true. Yeah.
For me, I started my journey into media radio about 6.5, 7 years ago during the pandemic. I ended up doing some camera work, and the camera work
Mm-hmm.
for a basketball team led to my podcast, which led to my radio show. And I just love what I'm doing. And that's why I love doing this show, because every guest that comes on here has a unique story in career, and it's never too late to change careers. I was 47 when I switched careers, and I think you've switched careers as well later in life.
Yeah, well, you know what? My mantra, that it ain't over. And I feel that age does not define successes. It doesn't define how far we go, right? So, yeah, I even taking things a step further, I went back to even college later in life. So I went back and got my Associates of Science degree, then my bachelor's in global and community health. I was in public health, I switched my major. And then now I'm going to be starting graduate school next month. So yeah, it goes not, thank you. Yeah, so my goals aren't just entrepreneurial goals or artistry goals. They're educational goals too. And I have been able to really click a lot of those boxes. I've been very blessed to be able to, honestly, yeah. But I understand what you're saying, Chris. Age does not put a cap on how far we go. And I want everybody to know that, take it from me and Chris, that no matter what you want to do in life, you could be 47, 48, 50, 55, 60, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
And one thing too, Della, during the school season here, I speak once a month to local high schools about the importance of education in the classroom, but being self-taught and outside of a classroom. I also speak to them about careers. You don't have to pick one career when you're in high school and that's it your whole life. You can have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different careers. I've had people on my show that are older than me that switch careers, and it's just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
now, Della, I wanted that.
I read this book. Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead. That was me.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that I don't know. Oh, okay. No, I was going to say that I don't know if I could say this, but I read a book many years ago by Marlo Thomas. And can I say the name of the book, Chris?
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. But it's called It Ain't Over. And so it was about women changing their lives and going into different careers and reinventing themselves. And some of them were over 50. Some of them were like 60. You know what I mean? One lady went to medical school in her 60s. So yeah, this again, just closing that part of the conversation out. Yeah, age really again doesn't matter.
Della, I wanted to ask you this because I've actually experienced this a couple times in the radio industry. Have you experienced or seen ageism in the film industry or in the radio industry so far? Have you had to go through any of that, like I have so far?
I haven't seen that so far. Yeah, I haven't. Mm-mm. I'm sorry that you have. Oh my God.
Yes, and the thing I would tell anybody too, don't judge someone based on their age, whether they're 20 years old or they're 70 years old. Judge them based on their personality, their character, and their body of work.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I agree. I agree.
As for your show, how often is it on WFOM radio, FM, and can people listen to it on the internet as well? And are you able to tell us, Della, a little bit about your co-host and some of your most memorable shows and interviews so far?
Well, I will say the show on Saturday, Senior Moment that you mentioned, comes on 96.5 FM radio, 1080 AM radio. And it comes on at 11 o'clock to 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then on Saturday, Talk of the Town in WFO FM radio, 96.5, 1080 AM, comes on 1 to 1:30 on Sunday. On Senior Moment, it's myself and the beloved Carrie Saunders. And then on Sunday, that's Saturday. Sunday is myself, Carrie Saunders, and Howard Johnson. And so it's an ensemble on Sundays. But You know what? I've enjoyed a lot of the shows, Chris. I've enjoyed so many of them. But let me see, my favorite show. That's a good question. Never thought about it before. You
With
know
me.
what? Yeah, there you go. First time with you. Oh my goodness. I would say that I love having local, just local bureaucrats and people that's really making a difference in the community. So I think all of those shows are my favorite because everyone we have on there are impacting our community in a very positive way. I will say the icing on the cake shows that we've done is we've done some celebrity shows. In fact, we just did one with Omar Gooding, Cuba Gooding's brother, on Saturday. So that was really good time. And then we also we've had some jazz musicians on the show. I'm always so stoked when celebrities come here and they stop by the radio station. It's so exciting, to answer your question.
By the way, I've had somebody else on from your radio station a couple times. His name is Mookie Hawkins. Mookie Hawkins.
I know him.
He's been on my show a couple times. But by the way, my show originally started out as a sports show because I love sports. But I decided I didn't want to be stereotyped as a one-trick pony in the sports. And there's so many podcasts and radio shows out there on sports. So I still do sports, but my show is very diverse with guests and topics. And I was able to interview a number of celebrities at the Niagara Falls Comic Con. And if you talk to the celebrities just like we're talking or at a donut shop, they're just like regular people like us as well. I think I've kind of... I don't know how you do it, but I know when I interview people virtually or in person, I just be myself and make sure I have good eye contact as well.
Oh, well, you know what? I agree that they're just like you and me, but I love their stories, how they come from obscurity in a lot of ways, right? And then they end up evolutionizing in their life. They go from a relatively unknown to...
I think we lost Della here. Guys, just bear with us. Just a Wi-Fi connection. So hopefully we'll get Della back on.
Yeah.
Della, you're back. Okay, no worries. Hey, one thing I've learned about technology, sometimes it doesn't always go perfectly, but you just have to get through it.
I've gone through a lot of glitches. You're right. You got to keep pressing forward.
How would you describe yourself, Della? How would you describe yourself as a radio host? And also, how would you describe your style? Like just how your interviewing style?
As a radio host, I've been told that people love the questions I ask because I balance the guys out. I think that what makes me very different is I want to know the person. I want to know who they were in some of their life journey prior to the success. When someone see the success, but they don't see the struggle. They don't see, where that person was born, some of the adversities they've had in their life. So I always want to know who they are. Does that make sense? So I think that's what makes me different than a lot of hosts. They don't go far back, way back like I do.
I know
makes
my
me very
experience,
unique in that way.
And everybody has their own style. I also just try to be myself. I don't try to be somebody that I'm not. And my job with virtual or in-person interviews is to make my guests or my interviewer feel comfortable and talk. Make sure they're talkers too.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Because, I can tell you one thing about me as an interviewer, and I'm glad that you're like that. I have felt very comfortable, I will say, Chris. I keep it real, and I'm on shows with other guys, with other people, you're the sole, proprietor here. But I keep it real. I think that people love tuning into us because we keep it real with each other. We joke, we get smart with each other. So it's it's a back and forth banter that we have, and I think people love that on the radio. But I also want to tell people about a podcast that I started a few weeks ago on
Congrats.
my book Live. Thank you. Live. Thank you. Called Conversation with Della. So I've had a few interviews already, and I'm going to extend the invitation to have you come on and talk to me very soon, Chris. Okay. We'll talk about
Deal.
that later. I would love to have you as a guest as well.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, so you're welcome. You're welcome. So yeah, it's been, like I said, I'm just living my best life. I'm doing things I've always wanted to do, and I'm doing it very unapologetically. And I want to say this to the audience too, that because I have my hand in so many different things, people will think you're crazy. When you
Oh, yeah.
are so, yeah, when you're someone that goes against the grain and you believe in yourself, right? And you tell yourself, I can do this, I can do that, I can achieve, I can chase my dreams. You're going to have people thinking that you are nuts. I've had that. And let them think that. I can care less what people think at this day and age, right? In my 50s, I can care less. You keep living and keep growing and keep thriving. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't be whatever you want to be in your life.
Don't let anyone belittle you, shrink you, or
Yeah.
keep you small. What are your
That's
thoughts on
true.
that?
I think that people that questions your dreams and your goals, or may belittle you or downplay you or whatever, they dare to dream themselves. Those are usually the people that are in a box, right? They're not even really pushing forward to pursue their own dreams. Sort of like the crab metaphor, right? There's a crab about to climb out of that jar. Then there's some that's trying to hold them back. That's how it is when it comes to our dreams and our goals. And be careful with who you share your dreams and goals with. You can't go telling everybody. Not everybody's going to be happy for your successes. Not everybody is going to see your vision. Not everybody's going to support what you're trying to do or believe in you. And there's going to be a lot of closed. And I tell people, when doors are closed, you create your own. Right, Chris? You create your own. If you want to be an actor and people are shutting the door, write a script. Create your own show, your own film, whatever you want to do. Don't let anybody stop you from anything you want to do in your life. And I'm very passionate about this.
I feel with social media and the internet, there's a lot of good tools, but I feel belittling has increased, and also bullying and trying to keep people playing small too is increased.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree 100%. Yeah. And I think that has to stop. No one should be bullying anyone, period. And, I think social media, because it attracts so many people, so unfortunately it's hard to kind of eradicate the bullying online. You know what I mean? It's hard to control it.
Do you feel empathy and listening skills and social skills have shrunk too? Oh,
for sure. Yeah, I think so. I think people are just so into whatever's going on with themselves that they tend to lack the proper skill set to be empathetic towards other people, but then you never know what those people are going through themselves either. So I think it's still good to give people grace that lack empathy for us, because we don't really know what's going on with them. You know what I mean? If they're in the state of confusion or chaos in their own life, how could they be empathetic towards what you may be going through? So we have to kind of read between the lines sometimes, Yeah.
I've learned this from social media. It seems like people's attention spans are shrinking. And I notice when I post videos where it's only like 15 seconds to 10 seconds, it seems to do better. Do you agree with me that people's attention spans are shrinking these days too?
I do. I do think people's attention spans is definitely shrinking, which I want to segue into my film, because it's a short film and I wanted it to be short for various reasons. But one of the reasons is I wanted to, create some, but left people thinking and left people empathetic and everything, and a couple of things that you've asked about. And so I want to say hi to the cast too. The name of my movie, you don't mind my talking about it, right, Chris?
No, go ahead.
The name of Oh, thank you. So the name of my movie is Mistress and the Wife, and we're going to be we're in pre-production just for a few more days, and then we're going to start shooting the film. We're going to do it locally throughout our area here in Western New York, and it's a suspenseful film. It has some twists and turns, and just one of those little short independent film. And I want to say hi to the cast, if I can name some of their names.
Yeah, go ahead.
And production too. So I want to say hi to Tim Watson. I want to say hi to Kat Martinez, Mark Royster, who is my character's counterpart. I'm starring in it, so I'm very excited. I'm the lead female. I want to say hi to Candy and Lori and Marshawn and John and Philip and Brian. So, and I hope I didn't miss any of them, but yes, and also Lenny and, and people that are just helping get this thing together, and Abby. It's just an amazing, amazing thing. I have to say, this has been a really good experience. It has been an easy experience, but it's been really good. Writing the script, doing the table reads, connecting with the cast, choosing the cast, and having the crew. It feels so surreal. It really, really and truly does. And I want to say hi to Josh, because he's consulting me on some things as far as the film. And in fact, I was in his film. And speedy recovery, Josh, as well. All right. But yeah. So yeah, it's been just an amazing thing. Again, living my best life. And people think I'm crazy too, because hey, I went back to school, right? Created a film, doing the radio. I'm just doing so much. I'm a very multifaceted kind of gal, if you will.
I can relate to you, because I'm not just the talk show host. I'm the producer, the content creator. I have to sell my shows to companies. I'm a salesperson. I edit video. And I wear 10 different hats. I know this is a New York Mets hat, but I literally win 10 different hats. And I tell people, it doesn't mean you're the best at 10 different things, but I think if you go into the film industry, the media industry, I think any career nowadays, I think it's important to be able to wear multiple hats, because it makes you more valuable too.
Yeah, it does. It makes you more valuable, more profitable, right? Listen, any real successful person, as you know, they have more than one bag, people say, right? They have a diverse portfolio. And that's really where, I don't want to say the money, but that's where the opportunity is, when you keep an open mind and when you are a jack of all trades, the old cliche, right? Yeah. So I agree with you 100%.
Doug, I want to get your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the radio industry? I know it's shrinking here in Canada, but the radio industry is shrinking due to AI and satellite radio. Do you find the radio industry and also the film industry in the States specifically is shrinking due to AI and technology?
Well, I think AI has gotten crazy, period, not just in the media world or radio, but just all over. I was thinking about that the other day. It's real. It is really unreal. It's uncanny that AI, no matter where you can go on Google, you're seeing AI, right? You can call a business, you're hearing AI. You can call your bank AI, right? It's all over the place, and I will say AI cannot ever replace a human component, a human mechanism, right? So I don't know if it's a good fit for me. People want to hear, online or live personalities, right? Yeah, I don't agree with AI being on the radio. What is your take on it?
It seems like with satellite radio and with AI, it seems like a lot of business in Canada, the radio industry is shrinking, and it seems like in the film industry as well. But you're right, it can't completely replace human beings.
No. I think AI has gotten crazy. It's, when do we draw? When is the line drawn? When is the line drawn with AI? I'm serious. You can even have an AI girlfriend now online, an AI boyfriend. When do we say enough is enough? People can ask AI about their medical conditions. They're diagnosing people. You know what I'm saying? AI's, and I'm in the health field, right? So it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's just outrageous. Yeah.
Do you feel if people use AI too much, it will shrink people's brains too at some point?
I think if people lose, it can help people actually lose a grasp on reality. Is what I'm thinking. You have to be a very strong person mentally to deal with AI because it teeter totters between reality and things that are not real. Does that make sense? So yeah, I think that essentially it really has to be kind of better regulated, is what I think, because it's all over the place. Yeah,
Because I know
it is.
when I create content or post content or repost it, I
Mhm.
double and triple check because some of it looks so real, but it's not. And I do agree
Mhm.
with you. There should be some legislation of laws because AI.
Mhm.
I think AI, if you use it the right way, it can be a good tool if you use it the right way. But there's too many
Yeah,
people that are using it for bad ways nowadays.
yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And like I said, I've seen a lot of crazy things with it. I really have. I mean, it's bringing back people that's deceased. Even like the celebrities. You go online, you see a deceased celebrity, then they have the wings on them. You know what I'm saying? You've seen that, I'm sure. You know, so it's just, you can even take a picture of someone that passed away, and take a picture of yourself, and then upload it, and they're with you. I mean, it's amazing. I can say, yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it's
That's
just,
okay.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting. It really is.
Della, I wanted to ask you this. Who are some of your inspirations in the entertainment industry, and when did you develop a bug to be an actress, producer, director, and screenwriter? When did you get that bug?
Well, you know what, Chris? I have to tell you, when I was a little girl, my mom would tell you, and anyone in my family, people that know me from the beginning of my life, I always had an affinity. I sing too. So I always had an affinity for singing, and I wanted to act. So it goes way back, right? Way back. Now, some of my influences or inspirations in the entertainment industry, that's again a good question. Um, this may not be a favorable answer, but uh, I love Oprah, believe it or not. I always loved her talk show. I love that she had her own production company, and that she acted, she produced. I don't think she directed, but she definitely acted and produced, and she, to me, can do so many things, and she's a top-notch businesswoman. So no matter what people think about Lady O, she definitely is she's an inspiration, I feel. So I definitely think that she's inspiring. I grew up watching Whoopi Goldberg. Love Whoopi Goldberg. She's another inspiration of mine. Um, I have so many of them, and not just actresses, but even musical inspirations. Because, like I said, I sing a little bit too. Um, yeah, yeah. But those are the two that comes to mind right away. Uh, yeah. Hope I answered your question adequately.
If there was a movie made about Della Gray in the future, a movie made about you, which female actress would you like to play you? Who would it be?
That's a very see. These are interesting questions. Oh my God. I have my thinking cap on. If I can think of an actress that would play me in a movie, you know what? I'm thinking maybe Viola Davis. maybe. I like her. She doesn't really look like me, but I love her acting. I would say Viola Davis comes to mind. Yeah, yeah. I think I would choose her. She's a very prolific actress. Yeah.
Going to put you on the spot with this question. Do you find creativity in the film industry is shrinking these days?
Uh, I think so. In some ways, I think some of the best films I've ever seen in my life was really when I was younger, or even some of the older films. I started watching films from the 40s lately, or recently. 40s, 50s, 60s, 80s. Um, but I'm more of a nostalgic type of gal anyway. Even the music, like people in my family say, "Girl, why do you keep listening to that old school music?" But I love things that are ageless, and I enjoy listening to movies and watching movies and listening to music that are old school. Yeah, so yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I'm not too impressed as far as modern day movies. Not so much these days. No.
It seems like the storytelling is secondary to the special effects, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. I agree 100%. I agree. And it's so to me that great. I get bored watching a lot of this stuff nowadays. You know, yeah. It's probably
Do
why I
you
wrote
feel
my own script. Yeah, go ahead.
do you feel good storytelling has shrunk too?
Well, yeah, yeah. I think that I mean, because a lot of the films start off by telling the story. So that's really the fundamentals and the foundation of film. So yeah, I think the storytelling just definitely isn't the same for sure, for sure. These are
What
very
are
interesting and good. Mhm.
Well, thank you. I've learned to think on my feet. And by the way, before I went into
Yeah.
media, I was in security for 24 years. So when I was in security, I worked in a casino racetrack. I had to learn how to public speak. I had to listen, show empathy, and also had to learn to think on my feet. And also had to interview people. So my former career kind of prepared me for this. And I'll be honest, Stella, when I first started this 7 years ago, I had everything scripted and
Mhm.
written down. And I had some professional broadcasters come on and tell me, Chris, it's okay to write points and notes down, but have good eye contact with your guests and don't have a natural conversation. People don't want to tune into a radio show or a podcast, which is all scripted. And that's what I think have evolved over the years too.
Yeah, and that's really how I do my interviews. Obviously you want to know some things about your guests, but I'm more of a freelancer, to be honest with you. I like to really engage and know some things about them, but I like to do that on the spot. You know, what comes to my mind. I think that's more exciting because you just never know what you're gonna get. You know, like a box of chocolates. So yeah, yeah, I
But
agree
I
with you.
also and also too, when I have my guests come on, I do like to get
Mhm.
their bio so I can read up on them and learn about my
Yeah.
guests as well. So for me, it's not like scripted, but it's preparation and do your homework too, because your guests I find really appreciate it when you take the time to read up and learn
Yeah.
about them as well.
Well, yeah, I agree. I think that you want to definitely know some things about your guests, obviously, if you're going to have them on your show. Because that I think that yeah, when you take your time and you know some things about them, a lot of times they're very impressed with that for sure. So I typically do that, right? You learn some things, but I also like that impromptu, you know, just off right from the dome questions. That's always exciting to me again as well. Yeah.
You mentioned Della a few minutes ago about a singer. How would you describe yourself as a singer, and have you recorded some songs in the past?
Yeah, I've done self-recording more than anything. I was in a band very briefly, many, many years ago, very, very briefly. I haven't really pursued the singing as much as I have wanted to, or perhaps maybe I'll dabble a little bit more in that area, for field of interest, I should say. But in time. But I have enough on my plate right now. Yeah.
Absolutely. By the way, I tried singing once karaoke 6 years ago in New York. I empty out the bars. I had a couple of drinks in me. I had fun, but I don't have that God-given ability to sing.
Oh, sure. Well, not every talent is ours, right? Some things we're really strong at, some things we're not. It's okay. It's okay.
By the way, I'm 54 and I still like to listen to Motown music in the 60s before my time, the 70s and 80s. I find the 60s music really good storytelling, but also positive, upbeat songs too.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, and that goes back to what I was saying too about nostalgia, right? And and music that is timeless. I love listening to Motown, and I really love the 70s and the 80s. I think the 70s and 80s is to me some of the best music that was ever created. To be honest, yeah, like the Commodores, Madonna,
yeah.
Phil Collins, Marvin Gaye. Oh, it goes on and on. Wonderful time in music.
I know we haven't known each other that long, but it seems like we're very similar. And I want to mention this too. How did you connect with Shelly Shamos, who's a mutual friend of both of ours?
Well, yeah, I actually connected with Shelly through another mutual friend, and I will say the power of network. Our lovely and beloved Kat Martinez. So she told me about Shelly, and then she had me on her show, and the rest is history. Yeah. And actually, I just seen Shell recently, and I'll be seeing Kat soon as well. Actually, I'll be seeing her in a couple of days. But yeah, these are two amazing, strong-willed women who are, there's honesty with them, and they're not afraid to tell me what they think. And there's some two amazing, strong women. It's an amazing thing to have gotten to know both of them.
Do you find diversity and with females is increasing, and more women are now not shrinking themselves anymore?
I think so. I think women, especially as we veer into our 40s and 50s, we're redefining our lives, and we realize there's more years behind us, right? Because we're in the same age group as well, you and me. So there's more years behind us than ahead of us. So I think we're not playing anymore, right? We have some things on that bucket list. We try to cross them out, honey. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that women now hear us roar in our 40s and 50s and beyond. Yeah.
Now, Della, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, hopefully I answered your question.
You did.
Yes. Okay.
I wanted to ask you this as well. How would you describe yourself as an entrepreneur, and how did you come about starting your own business, Your Life Patient Advocacy, 6.5 years ago? And what were some of the challenges of owning your own business, starting it up from scratch?
Well, you know what? I've had my hand in entrepreneurship for a very, very long time. I think I started my first little entrepreneurial gig probably in my 20s. I had an internet magazine called Ideology Press. So it goes way back, the entrepreneurial spirit. What catapulted me to start Your Life Patient Advocacy was really my own health debacles. I'm someone that's chronically ill. I don't say ill per se, but someone that has chronic conditions. I'll say that. And so I went through a lot of things with my own health, and I just felt that my providers weren't listening, and many of them. I still feel that sometimes, even now, to be honest with you. But whatever I went through, I felt that through my struggles with the healthcare industry, insurance issues, issues with providers, not understanding conditions, being overly medicated. The list goes on and on, really. And this is no derailment towards, providers, right? Because they go through a lot too. But I will say that no matter what I went through, I felt that if I can advocate for myself, then I can advocate for others. So that is the origin of how or why I started Your Life Patient Advocacy, which I will say is an A+ Better Business Bureau business. It's been a rewarding journey. Hasn't been an easy journey, but it's been rewarding. And I'm really making a difference and being a part of the healthcare industry has been just an amazing life experience for me so far.
Della, for those people who are watching our show right now live stream or on the audio platforms later, there's somebody out there that is looking to get into being a business person, entrepreneur. What advice would you give to them from your experiences?
Well, you know what? I would say preparation. Before I started this particular entity, I didn't just jump into it. I did market research, right? I took online courses to learn more about the industry. I wanted to find out about my competitors, and I can tell you that I'm maybe one of a couple privately owned patient advocacy practices here in our area throughout Western New York. Okay. So that's what you want to know. You want to know about your competition. You want to know if you want to know about licensures and taxes, and you want to study. You want to study the industry you're trying to venture into. Even if you know some people know a lot of industry for the business they want to be in, and some people don't. But if you don't know, create a team that knows, because you can learn from people that may not have the experience that you have. So that's the advice that I would give, to know your industry and keep learning about, because you don't know everything right out the gate. You be a sponge of knowledge when it comes to whatever industry you're in or want to be in. So that's the best advice I can give.
Can you just tell us the importance of how the branding and marketing is as well?
Yeah, I think that it is very important, because if you don't market your business, people won't know about it. So that's one of the most important elements of being a business person, is you have to push the agenda, And there's so many free platforms out there. A lot of people aren't paying for advertisement anymore. There's so many different free platforms, but also one of the best ways to generate business is from the referral component. So people that you are doing business with, or your customers, your clientele base, can connect you to other people. That's very, very important, for sure.
I want to get your thoughts. Do you find there's an increase or a shrinkage in entrepreneurs these days?
I think that I think it's probably more of a shrinkage. I think people are afraid to take a step and take that risk. And it's not easy having your own business. It can be very stressful. Sometimes the revenue is not going to come in the way that you want it to come in. It takes time. Some people are in business 10, 20 years before they really reach the profit margins that they want to. But if it's something you're passionate about, you keep pushing. You keep pushing. You don't give up. And especially if you're in a business that's reaching people and making a difference, you want to keep pushing. But I think people are also afraid of failure. That's another reason why they don't want to get into business. Then some people don't have the money to invest in. But it depends on what kind of business you're in. Some businesses require very little startup capital. And I tell people, if you don't think a bank is going to give you a loan, start a business that has very little revenue, but you can reach really good profits really quickly. And one of the businesses that comes to mind is even a cleaning business. You can generate some really good capital and use the capital from one business that had startup costs, and the profit margins are greater, and use the revenue to start another business. And people do that all the time. That does happen. A lot of people don't. Well, I would say some people do it. Not everybody know that they could do that, if that makes sense.
Do you feel mental health is shrinking too nowadays?
Yeah, I think there's still a stigma attached to mental health. I think so. I think that people are so afraid of what other people think. But if you need help, honey, get the help. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I think we live in a culture that cares too much what people think. I really do. And I think that's very sad.
How
Yeah,
important
very
is it to
sad.
have how important is it to have a strong support system? And also, I've learned this too. When you start a business, you're going to get people that support you, but you're also going to get skeptics, naysayers, and some cases in media, haters. How important is it? You have to have a passion, and you have to have a strong belief
Yeah,
too. And just talking to you, Della, I can tell how passionate you are.
that is true. I'm very passionate about everything that I do. And yes, you are correct. You're always going to get naysayers, AKA haters. You can have a bunch of them. Okay. But you have to ask yourself, why are they hating on you? Okay. I'm talking about even just people you know. Forget the media for a minute, just people you know. Why are they hating on you? Right? And then it goes right back to they dare to dream themselves. If a person can't even have just have the bandwidth to pursue their own dreams, why would they tell you or be a skeptic of your dreams when they're not even pursuing their own? Does that make sense? Does it make sense? So you have to really look at the source in which is giving you the naysayerisms and the haterisms. Look at who they are. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah.
Jealousy and envy too.
Yeah. I can. Yeah, I've been there. Hmm.
Hey,
But I think
Della.
we all have. Huh?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I think that we all have had people like that, but you have to surround yourself with people that's going to believe in you, that's going to be positive, that is going to be honest with you, but in a constructive, right? And constructive way that is more, that has tact and diplomacy. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with, really. So.
Being 54, my inner circle over the years has shrunk. It's quality over quantity. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think so too. I think so. I think mine has shrunk in some ways, but also getting bigger, because you figure when you're someone like a person that's multifaceted, I have my hand in different things. So I'm meeting so many people in these different dynamics in my life, right? I meet people from the patient advocacy component. I'm meeting the film industry, right? Meeting people on the radio and some of the people that come out. So yeah, in some ways my inner circle there's shrinkage, but there's a flourishing component as well that I am, through my networking too with people, it's getting bigger. So in some ways shrinking as far as some of the older people, some of the people that were with you for a long time, some of them kind of fall off and then there's a resurgence of new people. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Hey, you used the word shrinking. I just wish my waistline would shrink.
Well, I wish the same. I can relate to that.
I try to have a good sense of humor. Hey, Della, I know we're over 45 minutes. Are you okay for 5 more minutes? Couple more quick questions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. How would you describe yourself as a screenwriter, an actress, a producer, and a director? And when you're an actress, do you prefer to be the hero or do you prefer to be more of a bad character?
Well, you know what? I'm really, this is really the beginning of my really pursuing acting. I'm a first-time screenwriter, producer, co-director. So yeah, it's my first time. And I can honestly say I would consider myself an actress, screenwriter, producer that want to tell good stories, but stories that are provocative in a sense, but not in the traditional way of being provocative, but a story that's going to make people think, that's going to touch your heart, and something that's universal. Everybody can see a bit of themselves in. So those are the type of stories that I want to tell. And I don't mind talking about some taboo subjects or creating something that is unorthodox. I don't mind that, because I think the topics that people are afraid to talk about are something that needs to be explored, if you will.
Now, Della, you said this was a short film. On average, how long is a short film these days?
A short film is typically 30 minutes or less. And usually it's about, I think no more than maybe 15, 20 scenes. Yeah. But I wanted my first to be more of a short film. And you never know what can even happen from that. It may turn into a feature later on.
When you make another film in the future, consider me for an extra. I would love to be a part.
I may consider you for an extra with this one. You never know. We'll talk about that later.
And that's one thing too. It's important. I have 2 other shows with co-hosts. I have a co-host that's half my age and a female co-host now in LA. It's important to make sure you have good on-air chemistry, whether you're on radio, live streaming, or when you're making a film. It's important to have on-screen chemistry with people too.
That's true. I agree with you 100%. I do. I really do. Yes.
Now, have you learned about the editing video part of the film?
You know what? No, but I have people that are willing to teach me. I have been very blessed to have a really good team. If I have questions or something I don't catch, they tell me. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been an amazing thing. But
by the way, I hope. Go ahead.
Learn that more. Now I need to really, learn that aspect. Delve into it more, but I will in time.
I learned how to edit video a couple years ago during Christmas. I have to admit it took me a while, but I finally learned how to edit video, and I love it. But I admit sometimes when I'm really busy, I sometimes cheat and use AI. But most of the time, I love doing editing the video as well. But it is time consuming. It is time consuming.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I've heard it. Yeah, but you know what? Let me stand corrected. When I have a YouTube channel, I did do some editing on YouTube, so I will say that I know very little about it, but I would love to learn more for sure.
What are your thoughts on YouTube and TikTok and social media platforms these days?
I think social media is a very powerful thing. Really, I think that you can reach out to almost anybody. That's the power of it. You can reach people from different plateaus. You can even reach your favorite celebrities. You can DM anybody. It's crazy, right? Where even celebrities, you weren't able to even connect with them in the way that we can now. I've met celebrities through social media. It's amazing. You know what I mean? But you can, if you see a hot guy or a girl, you can DM them. You know what I mean? If you want to get somebody on your show, hit them up, right? So it's a magnificent tool, I will say. There's pros and cons to social media, right? But I think that it's so powerful and it's such an asset to all of us. So we can't just look at the negative aspect of social media, but there's some positive things that goes on as well. And you can make money from social media. It can put money in your pockets. Oh, absolutely.
Especially YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube is probably the hardest, I think, platform to make money off of. But I would tell people, be consistent and quality and be consistent what you're doing.
Sure. I agree with that. Yeah.
By the way, Della, I want to say this to you. You have such a
Yeah.
soothing, relaxing voice. So I'm gonna have to start
Thank
listening
you.
to your radio station because I kind of
Thank
get
you.
sleep. Not that your voice puts me to sleep, but it's so relaxing and soothing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? I've heard that all of my life that I have like this really prolific, strong voice and that I have a radio voice. I've heard that so much in my life. So, yeah, I'm very blessed to have it for sure.
The
Yeah.
word I wanted to
And
use
thank
was
you for that
calming. You're very welcome. Calming. The
calming.
calming
Yes,
voice.
thank you.
You're
I've been
very
told
welcome.
that too. Thank you.
Have you thought about in a couple years from now writing a book about your experiences?
You know what? I thought about my first book would probably be for patients in the healthcare industry because I've seen so much. So that would probably be my first book, and then maybe my second one would be about my life because I have a lot of stories. I have been more successful at this point, this stage of my life, and I think I've accomplished a lot. I'm a very just a very that's what I'm looking for, Chris. Just a very, I think, very accomplished woman in my own right, and I would love to write a book that's going to offer mentorship to women. Yeah, I would love it.
As we wrap up the show, Della, I'm going to put you on the spot
Mhm.
here. What's 3 words, or even if you don't want to do 3 words, but what's 3 words to describe yourself? And what's one fun fact about Della Gray that people might not know about you?
Okay, 3 words to describe myself: very hardworking, hardworking and ambitious. But they're coincide with each other. And then another word would be um, strong, resilient. Yeah, I think that's really what would those 3 words would describe me. And a fun fact about me, hmm, there's so many fun things about me. Oh my God. But I think that a lot of people don't know that I have all these hobbies and interests. So I think that's a fun fact. When I tell people, like I told somebody, hey, I wrote a screenplay. They're like, what? You didn't even know that you wrote. Didn't even know uh, that you were into acting, right? So I think that that's a fun fact, finding out really who I am and what I'm into. Yeah, I think that's really fun. Yeah, I think to answer your question, I would say that just the unknown part of me. People are so surprised. People that don't know me.
Now, since you're from the Buffalo, Western New York area, are you a fan
Mhm.
of chicken wings?
Oh, of course. Do I look like I've been eating some wings? Of course, I love wings. Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
In
I
your
like my eat.
opinion, in
Mhm.
your
Go
opinion,
ahead.
who has the best wings in Western New York? And do you like them? Do you like them breaded or non-breaded?
Okay, well, there's quite a few spots I think. I like Franco's Wings. There's a place downtown called Destiny's, believe it or not, near the hospital. I've gone in there when I first had their wings. Oh my God, amazing. Then I went back the next day. And I don't prefer breaded. I prefer non-breaded wings. Um, yeah, I prefer non-breaded, crispy and saucy. Don't overkill the sauce, but saucy. Okay. And my favorite, if you're gonna ask me, Chris, my favorite flavor. I used to like what is it? Honey mustard. But now I'm more into mild, believe it or not. So I love honey mustard, and now it's mild. And I went to what's that thing, Wing Fest, a few years ago, and I had a raspberry uh, wings. So it was
Wow.
raspberry, so it was wing. It was good. It was very, very good. Very, very good. Yeah, extremely.
Ranch or blue cheese dressing?
I love ranch. Yeah, ranch all day. Yeah.
I'm a blue cheese guy.
I like blue cheese too, depending on what. Like, you mean on the wing? Um, I would say, you know what? On the wings, I would say blue cheese. On my salad, ranch. Some people put blue cheese on their salads too, right? But I would do ranch on the salad. Yeah.
Favorite restaurant in Western New York that you enjoy going to?
Believe it or not, I go to the buffet, the Chinese buffet a lot. That's the restaurant I visit the most. Um, and I visited Amherst Buffet, it's called, but I visited because food is pretty decent. They're very consistent most of the time, and you get what you pay for. You can go to that buffet and tear it up, you know. So that's why I go there. Yeah.
Favorite dessert?
I love ice cream. I love ice cream.
So do I.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
There's a place here in Cambridge, Ontario, which is about 15 minutes from my place. They're called Indulge Ice Cream, and it's a mom and pop shop, and they use local ice cream called Shaw's Ice Cream. If you want to go on the website, shawsicecream.ca, they have like 30 different flavors. And I'll be honest, I love hard ice cream. I soft ice cream's okay, but I like the hard ice cream. And my favorite flavors are birthday cake, cake pop, blueberry cheesecake, orange ice cream, and cherry cheesecake that's sugar-free.
Amazing. Those are really good. Anything with cheesecake, honey. Okay. Anything with cheesecake. I love it.
We're gonna have to get together for cheesecake.
Yeah, we can do that. On you, Chris. On you. Yeah, I like thank you. I like butter pecan, maple walnuts, and I like mint chocolate chip as well. Those are my favorites.
And there's a new flavor here in Ontario. You know, Ontario loves butter tarts. It's a Canadian dessert. They have butter tart flavored ice cream here. So if you ever come to Ontario, you're going to have to try butter tart ice cream.
Well, butter tart ice cream. Yeah, I will.
Yes.
I will. That sounds really good. Sounds
delicious. And if we do ever meet, ice cream is on me.
Well, thank you for that, Chris. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Hey,
As
we wrap up this show here, Della, this is a new segment on my show called Ask the Host CDP a Question. Do you have a question for me to put me on the hot seat as we wrap this up?
Yeah, you know what? My question for you is, have you ever had a different guest on your show? You don't have to tell me who. You can just say yes or no.
Can you just repeat the question again? Because you cut out there for a second.
Have you ever had a difficult guest, a guest that was kind of rude?
Actually,
you don't have to tell me who though.
No, actually, no. Not. I've been very lucky in my 1,700 interviews, but I did have a guest. I won't name her name. She came on a couple years ago. I assumed because she was an athlete that she would be a talker, and she really didn't talk to me on the show. She was kind of cold and distant until the end of the show when I asked her a topic that she was passionate about, and at the end of the show she opened up. So I've learned too now, make sure your guests are talkers, but also make sure they're also comfortable coming on your show. Don't assume somebody's a talker because they're an athlete or a celebrity. I try to ask ahead of time if you're comfortable coming on. So I also learned too, that's why it's important to read up on guest bios and learn about them, because you can learn something about them that they're passionate about. And sometimes it just takes one topic or subject and they can just open right up too.
That's true. That's true. Especially if you are talking about, like you said, something that they're very interested in or passionate about, for sure. Yeah, that's some really good advice there.
And a fun fact about me, I'm left-handed.
Are you? Well, I'm a righty.
That's okay. I won't hold it against you.
Yeah, there you go. I tried to write with my left hand. I do that. My twin brother, he's left-handed. I have a twin brother. That's a fun fact about me. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
And I'm around 5'5", 5'4" now. I used to be 5'9".
Oh, get out of here. We're around the same height then. Yeah, because I'm 5'5". Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
put in a dryer too long.
How are you?
I tried to be
hear you.
funny. I tried to be funny.
Well, height doesn't make you the man. You know, it doesn't make you less of a man because you're not the tallest. So I want to say that to all you men out there. Yes.
Personality and character too, by the way.
Huh?
Hey, it's personality and character that's important.
That's true.
Now,
That's true.
as we wrap up the show, again, if you'd like to promote your radio show and your podcast, and where can our audience follow you on social media? Best way of contacting you, and do you have any plans for a website in the future?
Well, I do have a business website, yourlifepatientadvocacy.com. Yeah, as far as the entertainment aspect of my life, for sure, I do plan on doing that. But they can follow me on Facebook, Della Haley. Also, the same tag on Instagram. So those are the two primary social media platforms that I'm on.
Della, I want to say thank you so much for giving us more than 45 minutes tonight. I do apologize for keeping you over. When you're having a great conversation with a guest, time just flies by.
That's true. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have me back in the future, Chris. Thank you.
I would like to have you back on again in the future as a guest. And if you're ever interested in co-hosting a podcast show with me too, I will definitely keep you in mind, because I have 3 talk shows in total, and I would definitely like to have you as a co-host, work with you as a co-host one day as well.
I would love to do that for sure. Yeah, we'll kick it soon after the show.
And the next time I'm in Buffalo, Amherst area, I will let you know as well. But I want to say, Della, thank you so much for coming on. Continued success in what you're doing, and your story is inspiring me as well. And that's why we do what we do, is because we're passionate, but we love to inspire ourselves and other people too.
That is so true. And again, thank you for having me on here as a guest. I'm very humbled and grateful for you to reach out and ask me to be on. And definitely, I will accept that invitation to co-host sometimes with you. Just let me know.
And if you ever need a guest for Conversations with Della podcast, please let me know. I'd be happy to come on.
Yes, I will. Yeah, we'll talk about that, because I would most likely want you to come on soon. So we'll talk about that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. Give me a little bit of time tonight, and I will send you the video, the audio, and I will edit it into some reels and clips, and I will tag you in on social media. Are you on TikTok by any chance, or no?
No, I'm not on TikTok.
No.
Not yet.
Okay. I'll just tag you on Instagram and Facebook then.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris. God bless. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Della. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Good luck to your bills. Good luck to your bills.
Yes. There we go. Yeah, we'll get bills. Thank you, sweetheart.
Okay, you too, Della. Talk to you soon.
All right, honey. Talk to you soon.
Bye. All right, everyone, that wraps up season 14, episode 37, overall 752 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership here in the Guelph Automall. As we wrap up the show, guys, I was in Toronto for Saturday night's game between the Argonauts and Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Argonauts won 39-20, and after the game, I went to the Argonauts locker room to interview wide receiver number 83, David Unger, who talked about the Argos win over the Cats before 18,420 fans at BMO Field. And this is David Unger speaking with myself, yours truly, Chris Pame, CDP Media Productions, about the Argos win over the Cats. And this is courtesy of my YouTube channel, Chris Pame, Live with CDP Talk Show. Subscribe, like, and share. Here's David Unger of the Argonauts. Pame here live at the Toronto Argonauts locker room. A very victorious, happy locker room tonight here after the Argos 39-20 win over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I have a special guest with me here, wide receiver number 83, David Unger. Thoughts on this win tonight, David, and bouncing back from last week in Edmonton?
Sorry, Chris, I couldn't really hear the question.
Thoughts on the win tonight and bouncing back after last week's game against Edmonton. How important was it to win tonight?
Man, it was a huge win, not only just for getting our morale up and, heading in the right direction. But obviously when it comes to the season series with Hamilton, we needed that win. We are able to beat them by, a significant amount. I don't even know what the score was, to be honest, but I know it was more than what we lost by in Hamilton. So we got the score tiebreaker, but at the end of the day, we're going to see them in a couple weeks, and we need to get it done just like we did tonight.
Thoughts on rookie running back Isaiah Smith tonight?
Oh, man, he played great. I'm so happy for him. I've become close with him since training camp, and, to see a young rookie, go through the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations of their first year, I can really relate to that. And we've had a lot of great talks with each other over the season, and to see him perform like that in such a big game was so gratifying, and I'm so proud of him.
What are your thoughts on the O-line tonight, too, protecting Chad Kelly? The offensive line play tonight.
Oh, man, O-line was phenomenal. If we're able to run the ball like we did tonight, then there's not a lot of teams. I don't think there's any team that can really beat us, because it opens up so much more of the passing game. We were still able to be efficient in the passing game despite the rain. And that just all credit goes to the offensive line and Chad for getting it done tonight.
Thoughts on special team tonight, especially about that game for Brady Litzker going 4 for 4, including that 49-yard kick in the heavy rain.
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job tonight. That's his job, is to knock him down, and he did that tonight, and I'm very happy for him. And then for our special teams unit to hold such a great returner, to really, he was a non-factor tonight. So to be able to do that is a heck of a group effort. And, I would say that we won the special teams battle tonight, and that's always a big factor in getting the win.
Thoughts on the Argo fan base here tonight in not so great conditions?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show how great of fans we have out here. I mean, to see that many fans still stay after a delay, heavy rain pour, they had there's all this other stuff going on here in the city with the CNE and concerts and whatnot. They could have been anywhere but here tonight, and to see that good of a crowd still. And I really didn't see many Hamilton fans. It was really all blue. So, I'm so grateful to the fans, and we hope that they keep showing up like that.
David, quick thoughts on next week's opponent, the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're a good team. They've gotten a good couple of wins recently. They're going to be fired up to face us after we beat them the first time there. So we're all hands on deck, and we're ready to go for a big battle this week.
And what's a fun fact about you that the Argo fan base might not know about you?
A fun fact is that I'm a father to a beautiful 1-year-old. She's the most amazing thing in my life, and I cannot wait to go see her right now.
And finally, David, where can the Argo fans find you on social media?
Instagram, I'm David _ Unger, and that's really all I'm on. So come get me on IG.
Well, David, I want to say thank you so much. And the final score tonight was 39-20. So congratulations, and good luck next week against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Thanks, David.
That was
Chris Palme here live.
That was David Unger, wide receiver with the Toronto Argonauts. The Argonauts came off a big 39-20 win over Hamilton before 18,242 fans, I believe. I think it was 18,842, but it was a good crowd. The weather was miserable, but the BMO field, the grass field, held up, and the Argonauts were full credit for their win, 39-20. Brady Litzker, the rookie kicker, went 4 for 5 on kicks, including a 49-yard kick in heavy rains, and the Argonauts are now 5-5. Hamilton is now 4-7. The Argonauts are back in action on Saturday, August 29th at 7 o'clock when they take on the defending Grey Cup champions, Saskatchewan Roughriders. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats are back in action on Saturday at 3 o'clock in Calgary to take on the Calgary Stampeders. Please check out my social media pages for pictures, videos, and post-game interviews with head coach Mike Miller and David Unger as well. As we wrap up the show, guys, I want to say thank you to everyone watching this show on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Instagram. And also thank you everyone for listening to this show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, and wherever podcasts are available. The next Small Talk podcast, season 4, episode 8,
with co-hosts Chris Palme and Marlene Sharp. We'll be back tomorrow night, Tuesday, August 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 on the West Coast, with special guests from the entertainment industry, actresses Lillian Carrier and Chloe Estelle. So I want to say thank you to Marlene for arranging our guests for our monthly show. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, August 25th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 on the West Coast, the Small Talk Podcast, Season 4, Episode 8, returns with Marlene Sharp and myself. And we're going to have sisters Lillian Carrier and Chloe Estelle on to talk a little bit about their acting career. And I'm really looking forward to this show as well. I do have a couple more live with CDP Sports and Entertainment talk shows coming up this week. Stay tuned to my social media pages for who the guests are and what day and time as well. And I want a big shout out to my dentist, Dr. Victoria Chan, and her staff there. They always look after my dental needs. So if you're in the Guelph area and you're looking for a great doctor, a great dentist, doctor, check out Dr. Victoria Chan at Stone Road Family Dental at 435 Stone Road Mall in Guelph, Ontario. So Dr. Victoria Chan, if you're looking for a dentist. And as we wrap up the show, guys, the show is brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership. And speaking of Barry Cullen Chevrolet right now, you can get a $25 SOM Mobile e-gift card with the purchase of an oil change and an eligible vehicle health check. This offer is valid from June 1st, 2026 to August 31st, 2026. You got 1 week left to book your appointment today at Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, a proud sponsor and advertiser of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. Finally, guys, as we wrap this up, if you're looking to adopt a cat, check out the New Hope Animal Rescue Group at 4990 Jones Baseline Road in Guelph, Ontario. Telephone number 519-836-9780, or visit their website, newhopeanimalrescueguelph.ca. All visitations are done by appointment, so you can do it through their website, newhopeanimalrescueguelph.ca, or give them a call at 519-836-9780, or drop by at 4990 Jones Baseline Road in Guelph, Ontario. And a couple of their cats recently were at Pet Value Paisley Road location at 1005 Paisley Road. Peanut, who's gone home, has been adopted, and Wyatt and Raz, a bonded pair, have been adopted as well, and they will be going home shortly as well. So keep in mind, if you're looking to adopt a cat, check out the New Hope Animal Rescue Group. Again, the best way to do it is contact them for an appointment, 519-836-9780, or newhopeanimalrescueguelph.ca. And also, guys, as we wrap up the show, if you're in the Guelph, Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge area, and you're looking to adopt a pet, a dog, a cat, a bunny rabbit, a pet, check out the Cambridge District Humane Society, located at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario, right across from the Cambridge Centre Mall. Telephone number 519-623-7722, extension 0, or visit their website, CambridgeHumaneSociety.org. Michelle and her staff do a wonderful job looking after our homeless furry friends and ensuring they get adopted into good homes with good families as well. And at the Cambridge District Humane Society, you can't buy happiness, but you can adopt it. And I want to give a shout out to Dana from Indulge Ice Cream. Indulge Ice Cream, they use Shaw's ice cream. If you like homemade and if you love homemade ice cream and want to support local businesses like Indulge Ice Cream and Shaw's, check out indulgeicecream.ca. They have a couple locations in Cambridge, on Queen Street in Hespeler Village. They have one on Water Street in Cambridge, and they also have an Indulge Ice Cream in Waterloo and one in Simcoe. And Indulge Ice Cream also does social events as well. So go to indulgeicecream.ca for more information. But if you really like great ice cream, check out Indulge. And they do have frozen yogurt and soft serve ice cream as well. So big shout out to Dana and her staff at Indulge Ice Cream, the best ice cream in the Guelph, Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge area. As we wrap up the show, guys, again, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. You can also follow my media content through my website, Beacons bit.ai/Chris D. Palme. You can also follow this content creator on TikTok at Chris Palme. Please check out my latest Toronto Argonauts game night content on TikTok at Chris Palme. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars, live streaming, podcasting, go to StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans, paid professional plans, and if you're a business and a company that does a lot of webinars, go to StreamYard.com and contact their business sales people for business pricing as well. Finally, guys, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. The audio version is on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, Good Pods, and now available on YouTube. You can watch the video episodes on my YouTube channel, but you can also listen to our shows on YouTube as well. And finally, guys, you can email the show at Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpalme19@gmail.com. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, feedback, please do so. And also, if you like to support my media content, there's two ways of doing it. You can book a personalized video message from yours truly, CDP, at cameo.com/Chris Palme. And also, if you really like my YouTube channel, my media content, my 3 talk shows, you like to support, contribute towards it, I am on paypal.com. Go to paypal.com at Chris Palme, or you can email me cpalme19@gmail.com if you like to support my media content through paypal.com or through a personalized video message from cameo.com. And finally, guys, you can follow me on Facebook, Threads, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, Blue Sky Social at Live with CDP19 on Blue Sky Social. And also make sure you subscribe, like, and share on my YouTube channel. I am getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers. So I'm right now currently at 934. So I just need 66 more people to get to that 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize my YouTube channel as well. And for those who already have subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And also make sure you like and share and check out my YouTube Shorts content as well. And that is about it, guys. I want to say thank you to my guest tonight, Della Gray, who is an entrepreneur, an inspiring actress, film writer, screenwriter, producer, and director in Buffalo, New York, for coming on our show. So thank you to Della Gray for coming on. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening to this show. And I'm looking forward to my next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show this Wednesday night, August 26th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern with my special guest from the West Coast. And I will make that announcement tomorrow as well. And again, guys, the next Small Talk podcast, episode 8, with co-hosts Chris Palme, Marlene Sharp, returns tomorrow night, Tuesday, August 25th at 8 p.m. with special guests, Chloe, Estelle, and Lillian Carrier as well. I hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night for episode 8 of the Small Talk podcast. And again, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, Chris Palme, and brought to you by our friends at Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership here in Guelph. Have a good night, everybody.